Hi guys, Jamie Humphries here for Six String Alliance, and today we are taking a look at the major pentatonic scale. So continuing on from our look at the minor pentatonic that we looked at in our last couple of lessons, I thought it would be a good idea for us to take a look at the major pentatonic. Now, it's pretty easy to learn the major pentatonic. If you already know your minor pentatonic, then you can in fact play a major pentatonic. They actually use the same shapes. We just start from a different root note. Now, this is where some of the confusion can start. So before we get into discussing relative major and minor and theory, let's take a look at learning the scale itself and look at the formula of the major pentatonic. Now, the major pentatonic is based around the major scale of the same name. So C major, we're looking at the C major pentatonic. So it uses notes from the C major scale. We're going to use the root, the second, major third, the fifth, the sixth, and then the root note. So here's the scale. Now, as I've mentioned, if you already know your A minor pentatonic, then you can in fact play a C major pentatonic. Let's have a listen to A minor. I'm going to play shape number 1 of the A minor pentatonic, that familiar shape. Has a very strong A minor tonality. But if we now start from the minor third, which is the note of C, the relationship of the notes change. So whereas before we had an A note as the root, C as a minor third, because we're looking at it in relationship to A, D is a fourth, E is a fifth, G is a minor seventh, A is the root. If we now treat C as the root note, we get a new formula. C, root, D is now a second instead of a fourth, E is a major third instead of a fifth, G, which is our fifth, A is a sixth, C is our root. So you can see, although we have the same notes, the formula has changed, or the relationship, the intervals have changed, and we get a new sounding scale. Now, this is really cool because we can basically use all of our other shapes. But it's just understanding that you have to start from a different point. Or if you're not starting from a different point, at least phrase around the chord of C to give it that C major tonality. So you've just seen that I can play the shape number 1 of the A minor pentatonic and it becomes the C major. But I wouldn't treat that as shape number 1. I don't think that's a good shape to start on when we start learning the scale. We call it shape 1 of A minor because it starts on the root note. So if we go up to shape number 2, of the A minor pentatonic, that actually starts on the note of C. So shape number 2 of the minor pentatonic is in fact shape number 1 of the major pentatonic. So you're just one shape out. So now let's take a look at the shape. We have 8 to 10 on the E. We have 7-10 on the A, 7-10 on the D, 7-9 on the G, and then we have 8 to 10 on the B, and 8 to 10 on the top E. And our root notes are on the 8th fret E, 10th fret D, 8th fret of the bottom E. So here's the shape. Like I said, that should be a familiar shape because it's actually shape 2 of the minor pentatonic. Okay, so moving up to the next shape, this would be shape number 3 of the A minor pentatonic, but it is in fact shape number 2 of the C major pentatonic. We have the 10 and 12 on the low E, 10, 12 on the A, 10, 12 on the D, 9, 12 on the G. We have 10, 13 on the B, and we have 10, 12 on the top E. But our root notes, 13th fret of the B, 10th fret of the D. So if we start root to root, you can now hear the C major tonality as opposed to the A minor tonality. It's amazing how just starting from a new root note really changes the sound of the scale. So moving up now to the next shape, this is shape number 3 of the C major pentatonic, but it is in fact shape number 4 of the A minor pentatonic. We're using frets 12 to 15 on the E, 12, 15 on the A, 12, 14 on the D, 12, 14 on the G, 13, 15 on the B, and 12, 15 on the top E. Our root notes are located on the 13th fret B and on the 15th fret of the A string. So let's play that shape root to root. Shape number 4 of the C major pentatonic, which is shape number 5 of the A minor. We have 15, 17 on the E string, 15, 17 on the A, 14, 17 on the D, 14, 17 on the G, 15, 17 on the B, and 15, 17 on the top E. Root notes, the C root notes are on the 15th fret A and on the 17th fret of the G. Let's play that shape root to root. Okay, so now we have shape number 5 of the C major pentatonic, which is shape number 1 of the A minor pentatonic, our old friend, that familiar shape. That's going to be 17 and 20 on the low E, 17, 19 on the A, 17, 19 on the D, 17, 19 on the G, 17, 20 on the B, 17, 20 on the top E. And our root notes are located on the 20th of the top E, on the 20th fret of the bottom E, and on the 17th fret G. Let's have a listen to that shape, root note to root note. Okay, so now let's run through all of the shapes, just start to finish, and I'll go from root note to root. So we're going to start on shape 1 of C major pentatonic. Now, something that's a really good idea for you to do is to see the relationship between the major pentatonic and the caged major shapes, a little bit like what we did in a previous lesson with the A minor pentatonic. Now, if you click in the link in the description, that will take you to the PDF that I've supplied for this lesson, where you will see the major pentatonic shape and its associated major chord shape, the major caged shape. So shape number 1 of the C major pentatonic works around the E shape. So we have C major as an E shape. We have the scale shape. Shape number 2 of the C major scale is around the D shape. So we have the D shape here in the scale shape. Shape number 3 is based around the C shape. Shape number 4 is based around the A shape. And shape number 5, if I can get my fingers in there, is based around the G shape. So having been able to see the relationship between the major pentatonic scale and the chord shape, the CAGED chord shape, I would take full advantage of that and practice through other keys. It's really a great way of unlocking the neck. Now, as I've said before, I like to practice using cycles of fourths and cycles of fifths. So a fourth above the key of C would be F. So I'd start from the lowest fingerboard position, play through all 5 of my CAGED chord shapes, and play the appropriate pentatonic shape, the major pentatonic shape. And then I would continue through the cycle of fourths, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and so on. So if you are unfamiliar with key cycles, be sure to check out my major CAGED chord shapes and minor CAGED chord shapes lessons where this is explained. And it's just seeing that relationship between the chord shape and the scale shape. Another thing that's really important to do here is to see the relationship between the A minor and the C major in every position. So if I'm playing shape number 1 of my A minor pentatonic, I have an E minor shape. If I start from that C root note, I have a G shape of C. So that's shape number 1 A minor pentatonic with the E minor shape, and that's shape number 5 major pentatonic based around the G shape. If I go to the next position, we have a D minor chord shape of A minor, that's shape number 2 of the minor pentatonic. This position though, it's shape number 1 of the C major, and we have the E shape. The next position up, you would have the C minor shape of A minor. So that would be shape number 3 of the minor pentatonic. But in that position, we have a D major shape of C. And it's in fact now shape number 2 of the major pentatonic. Shape number 4 of the A minor pentatonic is based around the A minor shape. But that's also based around the C major shape of C, and that's shape number 3 of the major pentatonic. We have the G shape of A minor, and that's based around shape number 5 of the minor pentatonic. And in that same area, we have the C major chord played as an A shape. And it's actually shape number 4 of the major pentatonic. And then we're back to where we started, back to shape 1 A minor or shape 5 C major. So again, that makes a really great way of practicing. You're playing A minor chord. Try practicing between the 2 chords and have a listen to the sound of the pentatonic scale and how it changes when a different chord is being played. It's really important to see the relationship of the A minor pentatonic and the C major in the same position. Make that connection between the minor CAGED chord shape and the major CAGED chord shape, the minor CAGED chord shape and the major, and so on. So the whole neck, you just see major and minor pentatonics on top of each other. Now, another really cool thing that you can do with your major pentatonic is is superimpose it over the top of the minor pentatonic. So you can actually play the major and minor scales combined. And this works great if you're playing over dominant chords or you are voicing a sort of dominant tonality over power chords within blues or rock. So if I take shape number 1 of the A minor pentatonic, we know that if we take shape number 2 of the A minor pentatonic, but start from the first note, it's actually C major pentatonic. If we take that shape of C major pentatonic then and move it down by a minor third, which is a tone and a half, we can start what would have been shape number 2 of the minor pentatonic from the A root note. So that now becomes shape 1 of the major pentatonic. So you've taken shape 1 major pentatonic, which remember is shape 2 minor, and you've just dropped it down a minor third, so you've started off the same root notes. You have A minor pentatonic, A major pentatonic, now this enables you to do some classic sort of blues licks, that Chuck Berry style, but it's a nice way of mixing the two scales. You know, I'm crossing between minor third, major third, and also adding the 6th and the 2nd. Another great thing that you can also do with this is to play licks and repeat them in minor thirds. If I'm playing over a blues riff, I can actually play licks around the major pentatonic in this position. So if I'm playing shape 1 of the minor pentatonic, drop that down a minor third, and that becomes shape 5 of the major pentatonic, but it's the same shape. I'm just dropping it down. So I can be playing licks. That sounds really cool, you know, to repeat licks in the major pentatonic shape and then move it up a minor third and play it in the minor. Now this works with every shape. So if I'm playing shape number 2 of the minor pentatonic, I can drop that back by a minor third and play it as shape number 1 of the major pentatonic. But also you can get other shapes that are a little bit closer. So say I'm playing here, I'm playing shape number 2 of the minor pentatonic. I can move up a whole tone and play shape number 2 of the major pentatonic. And it's you keep that same fingering. I'm just seeing the two scales over one another across the entire fingerboard. And it's a great way of playing some really cool licks. So hopefully you found that helpful, looking at starting from a different root note of your minor pentatonic to be able to play the major pentatonic. And then looking at it in relationship to the CAGED chords. I think that is so important. I can be anywhere on the neck, see a chord shape and instantly play a major pentatonic over it. Turn it into a minor chord shape, instantly play a minor pentatonic. I have that relationship between the chord and the scale really down, and I really suggest that you do the same. If you're just looking for a quick fix, want something cool to play, then just try that minor thirds trick. Play a minor pentatonic and then drop it down by a minor third, so a tone and a half, and it instantly becomes the major pentatonic of the same name. If you want to get a little bit more advanced with it, then try and see the minor and the major in the same position. And that's what I was doing there. I think that's a really good place to start. You know, if you play shape 1 minor pentatonic, shape 1 major pentatonic, and then look at how they cross over. and then try doing the minor third thing, so moving in minor thirds. Really cool. You get so much mileage out of combining those two scales. Okay, that's it from me. As ever, make sure you follow the link in the description where you can download a PDF of all of the scales shown today, the major pentatonic in the key of C, and see it in relationship to its caged major chord shape. So yeah, look forward to seeing you here for another lesson very soon. Bye for now.